The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Welcome in to an all-new edition of the Belly Up Fantasy Live Baseball Show presented by Belly Up Sports. And we have had a phenomenal week of baseball, and we're excited to talk about it today. I'm Vince Stover. I am joined, as I am every single week, by the senior writer, if he's allowed to write anymore, at Belly Up Sports, the one and only Kevin Wilson. Hey, Kev, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great, Vince, because we, coming through the Easter weekend, and because, of course, he's risen, and we had some top quality baseball going on up here in North Texas, as we had the Dodgers in town, and the Dodgers shut them out in 2 games, and the Rangers won it in a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th inning on Saturday. So baseball was reigning supreme in the Wilson household, and we had front row seats to take it all in. So I was quite excited over the weekend for baseball. And so, like you said, we've got some pretty exciting things to talk about right now. So I'm really looking to get into this.
So our website, bellyupsports.com, is on the verge of a comeback.
Okay.
It has been beaten down, it has been thieved and hacked and all that good stuff. And hack, I think, is the wrong term for it. But either way, we're almost back. Bellyupsports.com is almost back.
Yeah, don't lose faith. We're coming back
very soon. We got a lot to put up on the website. That being said, Belly Up is still putting out all kinds of content. So check it out. Belly Up Sports on YouTube. Best place to find it as well. All right, we got great show lined up for you. We're talking about fantasy players on the rise. We've got MLB news to discuss. We're talking some call-ups. We're talking some controversy. And one player that appears to have forgotten how to play baseball. And then we'll give you our waiver wire additions for this week as well. So let's get into segment number 1. We call it the Fantasy Burner. All right, for the Fantasy Burner, we're talking about players on the rise. And, we've talked about slow starts already this year. We've talked about some different things. But there are some fantasy baseball players that have really just taken a step forward already this season, and it looks like it's here to stay for these guys as well. So we got plenty of guys to talk about. Kevin, I'll let you lead us off. Who do you want to talk about that's on the rise?
Well, I think that there's no player that I'm aware of that has risen higher or faster than Tyler Soderstrom over there with the Athletics.
Yeah.
And so as I was writing this down, he hit 9 home runs last year in 61 games. Well, he's played 19 games and has 9 home runs already, which leads all of baseball. Okay. And so this guy, we had talked about him maybe as being a catcher, but that's not going to happen.
No.
And so, but just at first base, this is amazing. And he could be picked up off the waiver wire.
Yeah.
And so he's gone from the waiver wire to the major league lead in home runs. So when you talk about rising players, nobody has reached the stratosphere quite like this guy. And so, and he's getting ready to go back. I know your Brewers slowed him down just a little bit over the weekend, but he's going back to Sacramento and be hitting in that minor league ballpark. So I see him getting right back on the rocket ship and going straight back up to space. So I'm very excited because I have him on one of my teams. So I'm very excited about Tyler Soderstrom and what he can do going down through the rest of the season.
Yeah, he was number 1 on my batter list also. And I've got him in a couple leagues too. I'm a big fan of his. And I'm intrigued to see they just made a call up, their number 1 prospect, who's a first baseman also. And so it looks like they're just going to split time. One of them will be DH. The other one will be first base. So he's not going to lose at bats. As a matter of fact, it might be better for him to get more DH spots as well. And I actually am curious to see if maybe he gets behind the plate now that they have another first baseman up as well. Now, that's not been reported anywhere, but I'm curious if maybe he'll get a few games at catcher because they've got a first baseman up and they don't need him every day at first base. So we'll see how that shakes out. But yeah, I think when it comes to hitters, to me, Tyler Soderstrom is a guy that, I mean, I would take him ahead of Christian Walker any day of the week right now. And probably moving forward, I would take him ahead of Salvador Perez, who's on his downward trend. Finally, I feel like I'm right about this. We'll see. Yeah. Those kind of guys that have been consistently up there in that 6, 7, 8 ranking range. Tyler Soderstrom's right there now. He's rising up the boards. He's young. He's talented. This year, he's fortunate in the ballpark that is home ballpark for sure. But I've seen people try to discredit his start because of that. I don't do that at all. You play where you play. Tyler Soderstrom does not get to choose where he plays. Major League Baseball does. The Athletics decide that. So he has to go and he has to hit wherever he's playing. And he's had a great start to the season. So I love that one for sure, Kevin. Let's talk about Jung Hoo Lee also from San Francisco. This is a guy that last year going into the season, we thought, okay, this guy is going to be stolen bases. This guy's going to step up. He's going to be worth it. He really wasn't, in my opinion, worth it last year, at least at the level that he was getting drafted at. This year, on the other hand, he's starting to look the part. So he's batting .333. He's got 3 home runs, 3 stolen bases, 14 RBIs to go with it as well. He's slashing .361 right now. He's got 14 extra base hits and an 8-12 walk to strikeout ratio. So he's looking really solid. I think he's actually doing what we thought he was going to do last year, and to me, never met up to that last year. So his value dropped, and now we're seeing him rise. His value rise because that consistency is there. So I really like Jung Hoo Lee and what he's doing this year in San Francisco.
Well, you have to like a lot of what San Francisco is doing.
True.
And so I did not see that. And so, as we mentioned before, San Francisco and San Diego and LA and Arizona battling it out makes a great thing for baseball. So
for sure,
I can't be a Giants fan. I just can't do it. But you have to admire what they've done so far.
Definitely. All right. Do you have another hitter?
I do, and it's another first baseman, and this is a guy who had one foot in the grave as far as his MLB career.
Okay.
And that's Spencer Torkelson of the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's not a metaphorical thing that I'm saying. He was on his last gasp. And so right now he's got 7 home runs, which is 5th in the league, 21 RBIs, which is 6th. And 4 2-hit games. He has runs of 7 of 9 games, RBIs in 5 of 6 games. And he's another player that, of course, you could have gotten off the waiver wire. And so he has taken huge steps forward this year. And so these, the first 2 guys I'm talking about, both first basemen. So, first base kind of looks like it could be a little barren going into the season. These guys are shoring up that position big time. So I fortunately did not get Spencer Torkelson. So whoever got him, you've got a great player on your hands right now. So I am big on Mr. Torkelson going the rest of the way, because I think Detroit's playing great baseball. I think they'll continue to do so. So I like what he's capable of doing the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about these younger first basemen. Michael Busch, what he's doing in Chicago, can probably fall into this category too. I just like these young first basemen. It seems like they're stepping up and replacing some of these older first basemen in the fantasy rankings for sure. Let me give you one more hitter, and then we'll transition to pitchers if you got pitchers.
I do.
I'm going to go to shortstop Geraldo Perdomo in Arizona. Okay. I think he similarly was kind of on the verge of, was he going to be the everyday? They got this young kid in the minors, prospect coming up, Lawler, that could take his place, and all these other things. And Perdomo's just come in. He matched his 2024 home runs earlier this week. So he's got 3 already this year. He's also got 3 stolen bases. He's batting .286. He's got 19 RBIs. At one point, I'm not sure if it's still this way or not, but at one point this week, he was 5th in Major League Baseball with RBIs. So what Perdomo is doing in Arizona, again, young shortstop that's always been kind of this Is he ever going to have a breakout? Is he ever going to kind of push through to that next level? And now what we're seeing out of him is consistency. And in ESPN leagues, he's only owned in 66.9% of leagues. So shortstop, there's some good shortstops we'll talk about. I'm going to drop one in our drops later on in this show as well. But Perdomo, I really like what he's doing. He's part of that young core in Arizona, and I think he is rising in his ranking in his fantasy standings as well with what he's doing this year.
I like that a lot, and you and I are both big on Arizona. So
yeah,
if he shores up that bottom of that batting order, they've really got something going on in Arizona.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're ready to transition to pitchers.
Okay, I can do that. So I'm going to talk about the pitcher for the Texas Rangers, and that's Kumar Rocker.
There you go.
Nobody knew what to make out of this guy. But on Thursday, pitching against the Angels, 7 innings, 3 runs, 5 hits, 8 strikeouts, no base on balls. Okay. And over his last 11 1/3 innings, he's given up 1 earned run. Okay. That's all. Well, before that, because he gave up 3 runs in the Angels. But everything you look at this guy, he's and it was his first major league win, by the way. And so he raised up, got his first big win. Let's see, everything that he's doing, you got to like it a lot. So, and the Rangers, surprisingly enough, are pitching extremely well.
Yeah.
Their hitting has disappeared.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay. And so they're pitching, though. And like I said, we didn't know what to make out of Kumar Rocker, but he is pitching extremely well. So he's another guy that, unless you're in a dynasty league, you are not drafting Kumar Rocker onto your fantasy team. But he has earned a spot right now.
Well, I mean, you remember coming into the season, had it not been for injuries, Rocker and Leiter wouldn't even been on the major league roster. And
Right.
They had injuries, and both guys get starts. Leiter looked great, had blister issues, and so he's been out. But Rocker, he didn't look great at the very beginning, but he's picked it up. He's come on, and he is looking like the prospect that we were expecting versus what we were seeing out of him more recently as well. So yeah, I like that one a lot. I'm going to go with the guy we've talked about often on this program. And I think even last year, some we liked, but I just feel like now throw him out against any team, I'm comfortable with him. And that's Mackenzie Gore from the Washington Nationals. He's sitting at a 3.41 ERA, a 1.21 whip. He's 2-2 on the year with 45 strikeouts. He has, with the exception of 1 game against Toronto, he has 4 quality starts. So 4 out of his 5 starts have been quality starts. He's just looked solid. 13 strikeouts twice, 7 strikeouts twice, and then 5 strikeouts against Toronto. So what Mackenzie Gore is doing, and again, you look at this team, and I think you could look at, and if he's on your list, I apologize, Jake Irvin, another Washington pitcher that has been phenomenal. I just think Mackenzie Gore is the ace of that staff. And I mean, over 3.41 is not great. You'd like to see that in the 2s for sure, but you're talking about the Washington Nationals. And so what he's doing is really special. I think Mackenzie Gore is safely in that conversation with guys, not top elite tier. He's not Paul Skeens, but now he's up in that upper tier of pitchers in fantasy baseball. I love what Mackenzie Gore doing. I think he's been a fast riser this year.
Absolutely. So we talked about how Washington, we didn't know for sure, but their pitching, especially him, has worked out.
Yeah.
So got to like him a lot.
Yeah. All right. Who else you got?
All right. So the pitcher that's probably risen the most, I got to go with Nick Pivetta over there in the San Diego Padres. Okay. He was the 212th pick in our draft, in our redraft. And so I think it was Chase that drafted him. I'm not too sure about that, but he was 212. And for that, you've got a pitcher who's 3-1 with a 1.57 ERA, 0.83 whip, 24 strikeouts, and 5 base on balls. Okay. And he's walked one or fewer in 3 of his 4 starts. And so San Diego, I was not huge on them coming into the season, but they've answered every bell that could possibly be answered. He's been the guy that has given them the oomph. And he was, you could put him down as being an MVP so far of the pitching ranks.
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said, at 212, there's not a better value in the entire pitching hierarchy than Nick Pivetta.
I like it. All right. I'm going to go with the guy that many, unless you're big time baseball fans or Milwaukee Brewers fans, may not be aware of. But I'm talking about a guy in a relief role, currently a 7th inning role.
Okay.
But he's getting holds. So in our leagues, he's earning points. And I think he's going to move up to that official setup role before too long with the way things are going in Milwaukee. Abner Uribe. Know the name, write it down, and understand he's the next. You got to think through this line of guys Milwaukee's had. Josh Hader, Devin Williams, Trevor McGill's now there doing his thing. Abner Uribe, last year you may know him because he got suspended for fighting towards the end of the season. He missed the first, I think, 3 games this year because of that fight. But here's what he's done so far. He has 11 strikeouts, 0.93 ERA, 1.03 WHIP. He's got 64 fantasy points, and that is in, I didn't count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. 10 games, 64 points. So he's averaging 6.4 fantasy points a game as a setup guy. All right. He's allowed 1 run in these games.
It doesn't get any better than that.
He is elite personality. Okay. This is the kind of guy that once people start to see him, they're going to tune in for the purpose of watching him. He's got great stuff, good heat. His control has been much better this year. And you're getting ready to see Milwaukee's bullpen. They just called up a guy in Yoho who's incredible. So you're getting ready to see a back end again as elite as it was back in the Hader heydays, along with Devin Williams there to set him up. So keep your eye out. Abner Uribe, he's on the rise. He's only 2.7% owned. Again, he's a setup guy. He's going to get you points, though. If you're in a fantasy league that has holds, Abner Uribe is worth it. And so check him out. He's on the rise. And I promise you, it may take 2 more years. He'll be a closer if Yoho doesn't overtake him, which is very possible because Yoho is nasty. But he'll be either the 8th inning or the 9th inning guy in Milwaukee very, very soon. And you're going to know his name very soon too. You can say, hey, I heard about that guy.
That's right.
Fantasy Live Baseball.
Right here. Here.
All right, Kevin, anyone else that you think is urgent that you need to get out there?
Let me just mention one guy, Chris Bubik out of Kansas City. Okay. Free agent. You could have gotten off the waiver wire. He's 2-1 with a 1.88 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, 27 strikeouts, 9 base on balls. He's pitched into the 6th inning in all of his starts. And Kansas City is kind of floundering a little bit, but they'd be way worse off if they didn't have this guy pitching for them. So if you might want to check and see, he shouldn't be available, but if he is, I would jump all over this guy.
I like it. All right. Well, that's the fantasy burner this week. It's always presented by bellyupsports.com. Right now, your best bet is to go to Belly Up Sports on YouTube and catch all the other shows going on, as well as our show on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. All right, let's move to segment number 2. We call it the Hot Corner. All right, the Hot Corner is presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. Join the flavor revolution, righteousfelon.com. Use the promo code BELLYUP. You're going to get 15% off your purchase. And really, there's not a better snack to have on NFL Draft Weekend than Righteous Felon Jerky. There's not a better snack to have as you're sitting watching baseball at home.
That's right.
Felon Jerky. So check it out. Use that code BELLYUP. You're going to get 15% off your purchase. All right, we got plenty of things to talk about this week. Let's start off with the Max Fried situation.
Okay.
He gets through 7 innings, thinking that he's pitching a no-hitter. Comes out in the 8th to pitch, and it's announced a scoring change has been made, and an error had been changed to a hit. And now you got this pitcher who thinks that he's on his way to making history and be one of the next pitchers to pitch the no-hitter. And he's being told that something that happened earlier, which was what in the, I forget what
6th inning, I believe it was.
6th inning. You're right. 6th inning. That was called an error. It got changed there. And so after that, of course, Jake Mangum comes in. He gets a leadoff single, and it would have been over at that point anyhow. But Max Fried was on something, and to have that just yanked out, I mean, that change has to happen so much faster, doesn't it?
It does. It certainly does. You cannot change something that happened 2 innings earlier, and then especially when this is happening. If let's say he'd given up 5 hits,
yeah,
okay, no big deal.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So he's giving up 6 now, but he was pitching a no hitter.
Yeah,
and so
at least wait until he gives up a hit, and then change it.
And so official scoring is a tough thing. I've never done it, but I imagine it's a tough thing. But come on now, you've got to be quicker on the draw than that. And so you can make an argument, I guess, either way on this play, whether it was an error or not. But it's kind of like, well, you made a decision at the beginning that it was an error, so stay with it. So, and if he didn't, he gave up the hit, as you said, but maybe if he knew that he was still pitching a no-hitter, maybe, he goes about things differently.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not a Yankees guy, of course, but I have him on my fantasy team, one of them.
Yeah.
And he's pitched fabulously. And so I would like to have seen him, have a legitimate shot at a no-hitter. But
sure.
Come on, official score.
Yeah.
You've got to do better than that. You just have to.
Well, someone who did not pitch a no-hitter, Jeffrey Springs, allowed 6 stolen bases in an inning against Milwaukee this weekend. It seemed like Milwaukee coming into the game was ready to go after him. They had planned, they had prepared, were stealing bases. And I'm sitting here listening, Contreras going for his 3rd stolen base of the season. And you're sitting there going, something's wrong. If you're Jeffrey Springs, and he's a lefty, so it's not like he can't see what's going on over there.
Right.
I don't trust Jeffrey Springs as a starter anyhow, but I can't imagine that he can start another game unless he changes mechanically something, because now everyone has seen it and everyone's going to take advantage of it. An absolute bonkers of a game. 9 stolen bases in the game. Milwaukee just ran wild. Bryce Terang had 3 stolen bases. So it was nuts. So what are your thoughts on that game?
So you can't argue, because when I first understood that they had 9 stolen bases and I saw that the score was, I'm like, why are you still running? But they did all that in the first 5 innings.
Right.
And 6 of them, as you mentioned, was the very first inning.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, come on now. It's not like this guy, is a rookie or anything like that. He's pitched in the major leagues. And as you mentioned, there's no excuse for a left-hander to be letting this go on.
Right.
None whatsoever. So you've got to be better. You've got to do something. I know you can't throw over there as much as you used to be able to do, but come on now. There's got to be something you can do to slow down a running game when you got, as you mentioned, William Contreras stealing bases. That's not good for a pitcher. So I know that Milwaukee's got speed, but they don't got 6 stolen bases in an inning kind of speed.
Yeah, Reese Hoskins stole a base.
Right.
He's not known for his speed.
And this had not happened since what I think it was 1919. Is that what it was?
It's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a long time, and it hadn't been done at the very least since the expansion era occurred. And so there's all kinds of problems going on over there in Sacramento / Oakland / Las Vegas, whatever it is. But so shouldn't have to be worried about, well, we can't slow down a team's running game.
Right.
With everything else that's been going on.
Well,
So
and Langoliers, he wasn't throwing the ball well. I mean, he had an off day. He's at fault too in this, not just Springs. The catcher did not do his job very well, and getting the ball out. He overthrew a couple. So I mean, Springs is the one that's going to get razzed on it the most. But the reality is Langoliers, which brings me back to Tyler Soderstrom. Maybe he gets a shot at catcher because of the way things are going right now. But yeah, it was a fun game as a Brewer fan, needless to say.
It's a fun game if you're a baseball, unless you're an A's like Nathan fan.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
This is a great thing to be able to watching people steal bases is one of the great things in baseball.
Yeah,
and so I certainly enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I don't know about anybody else, but I enjoyed the fact that they stole 6 bases in 1 inning.
Yeah. Sticking with the Brewers, we got some call-ups. We've had several call-ups this year, of course, but a couple of debuts that were worth mentioning. In that game against the A's, the Brewers pitcher Logan Henderson had his major league debut. He went 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, 1 earned run. Gave up 1 home run. He gets the win in his debut. He gets optioned back down to Nashville afterwards, but the Brewers needed a good fill-in start there, and Logan Henderson, what a way to have a debut there as well. Then also for the Brewers, Caleb Durbin comes over in the Devin Williams trade from the Yankees, started the season in the minors. Third base just wasn't working for Milwaukee to this point. And so Durbin gets the call up. In his first game, he went 2 for 4. He had a run. Then since then, another RBI, 2 runs, stolen base as well in that game against the A's. They still need to figure out third base long term. I don't know that Durbin's the answer, but in his debut, a fun start for him for sure. A couple other I wanted to mention: Chandler Simpson for Tampa Bay, outfielder, comes up in his debut. He went 1 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Since then, he's batting .250. He's got a stolen base added to that as well, and that's what he does, is steal bases. So we'll see how high that number goes. And he, by the way, is playing every single day in Tampa as well. And then Minnesota had Luke Keeschel that comes up, and in his debut, 2 for 4, an RBI, a run, and a stolen base as well. I believe he played second base. I should have checked that, but nonetheless, another fun kind of debut. I love watching these debuts, Kevin. I love to see the family in the stands and the first hit and just the excitement. I mean, you think about back when I was a kid, we got a chance to meet a minor league baseball player. His name was John Flynn. John Flynn's a basketball player. Anyways, he played in New Orleans, the New Orleans Zephyrs. And man, he would just, everything you wanted was to get to the majors, and he kept getting hurt right when he was getting the opportunities. And you just see the anguish in them. Many years ago, when I started podcasting, I had on a guy, he played in San Francisco. He spent most of his career in the minors. He got up, he played a season as a utility guy in San Francisco. And then since then, he got traded or signed in Colorado, never really got back up to the majors again. Everything they did was working for that moment. So to see these guys get there, get that first hit, get that first win, have something happen good for them, to me, it's just an incredible thing to watch.
It is, and that's something that can never be taken away. You could have the worst major league career the rest of the way, but you've got this one thing that you could have plastered on your wall till you're 92.
You're right.
And so you get good on them. I like to see young players come up and just do their thing, be successful. And so we'll see if they can match it up the rest of the way, but they have this particular day to celebrate the rest of their life.
That's right. All right, now let's talk about someone who's not celebrating.
Okay.
Philadelphia Phillies pitcher Aaron Nola. I am in shock with how bad he has been. And I'm sitting here watching Charlie Morton end his career in Baltimore. And I'm sitting here thinking Aaron Nola's not that far off from where Charlie Morton is right now. Aaron Nola currently sits at a 6.65 ERA. He's 0-4 on the season. He only has 25 strikeouts. That's all he's got so far this season. You look at this, it's just not anything that we expected. What he's doing right now, he has gone 6 innings one time, and that was against the Dodgers. He went 5.1 against Washington in a 5-1 loss. He went 5 against St. Louis in a 2-0 loss. He went 5.1 against San Francisco in an 11-4 loss where he gave up 6 earned runs. And I'm sitting here looking at this going, what in the world has happened to Aaron Nola? We knew Wheeler was the ace. That wasn't in question. We knew that they have other guys that can pitch. But I really expected Nola to be solid, and he is not anything close. He's solid like poo, and that's about it.
Well, I certainly expected him to be solid because I have him on one of my fantasy teams. And I did not expect the 6.65 or whatever it was that you just said ERA. And so I think this is a guy that we need to give a little bit of patience to still.
How much?
And maybe the runways, he's about 40 years younger than Charlie Morton is.
Right.
Or so. And so plus he pitches for a quality organization. So because I really Wheeler is the staff ace. We knew that, but I thought he was kind of a 1B kind of guy going into the season. But it's more like 1Z at this point in time. And so I'm going to exercise a little bit of patience when it comes to Aaron Nola. And so we'll see how it works. He pitches tomorrow, I believe. And or was it today? He might be pitching as we speak.
Yeah, I think it's today.
Okay. And I did not see the scores.
0-5, 0-5, New York Mets.
Okay.
He went 6.1 innings, 6 Ks, 4 earned runs. Then he pitches again on the 27th against Chicago, and then on May 3rd against Arizona.
None of those are easy. None of those. Right? Because we saw the Cubs put 13 runs up the other day.
Yeah.
And become what the third team ever to give up 10 runs in an inning and still win the game ever. Yeah. Okay, so the Cubs can swing the bat. We know Arizona can swing the bat. So the runway is getting especially short for Aaron Nola. And so maybe you can trade on the name.
Yeah.
And
I don't think I can see because
you gave up some draft capital to get Aaron Nola.
Yeah.
And so I can't just see, shifting him to the way back in the pasture somewhere.
Yeah.
So but he's going to have to turn this around and do it quick. Otherwise, it's a lost season for,
I don't think I can roster him. I don't think I can have him on my team. I've got, I was all in on Jackson Holiday, and I'm starting to cut bait. I'm offering them in trades all over the place. I don't
one
want
of them you just got accepted, wasn't it?
Did it? Nice.
I thought so. I thought I saw that there was a trade that was accepted.
Sweet. I haven't seen that yet. I've been offering a ton. So I think Nola's in that category though, where I'm looking at it going, listen, I've hung on long enough. I mean, Nola wasn't great last year, but he wasn't this bad either.
No.
To me, I'm sitting here going, I think I have to move on. I don't think I can keep him in any league. I'm agree with you. I'm not saying cut him. You try to trade him for something, get something in return for him. But my goodness, to me, I'm done. I'm done with Aaron Nola. I'm moving on. If he was on the waiver wire and he was getting ready to play Chicago, then boom, I'm in. The White Sox, that's what I mean. Then I'm in. If he's playing the Angels, all right, I'm in. But playing against the Braves who aren't playing well, playing against the Mets, I'm not doing it. And to me, I'm out on Aaron Nola, and I'm doing everything I can to get rid of him, move on to something else.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it right here. He's got 12 fantasy points at the present minute, but that's going to go down to 7 because he's going to be the loser. And so He's given me 7, 5, 6, 0, and it's going to be 7. That's not getting it done, of course.
Right.
And he's still at 91% roster.
Yeah.
And so maybe someone that's at 91% roster, like I said, try and move him and see what you can get. Because if you dropped, I don't know, if I saw him and I didn't already have somebody else dropped him, I would just say, okay, float down the river.
Yeah.
But
to clarify, breaking news. Yes, I did trade Jackson Holiday in one of our leagues, not our belly up league, different league.
Yeah, I thought it was the other
pitch.
league. Yeah.
I went out and got Chris Martin from Texas, who I've got in another league and
Okay,
love.
and that's a solid pickup because I've seen him pitch. He's a solid pitcher.
He's doing what he's got to do, and Jackson Holiday's not. So I'm taking my chances. I'm cutting bait, and I have the guy I traded him to is a friend of mine. He's having a really rough season. I said, here, have a name at the very least. Jackson Holiday. That'll make you happy. So I think I still won that trade, but you got to check your league. You got to see where the points are coming from. And in our leagues, we do holds. So if you got a relief pitcher's getting holds, they're scoring points. And,
that's right. And you should be in a league that has holds because it is a legitimate stat.
Yeah. The Rangers have 2 guys that are flip-flopping
that's right.
on them. That's great.
They do. Just like the Dodgers have more than one of those.
Yep.
As we've mentioned before.
For sure. All right. Anything else for the hot corner?
Well, I just think we should mention that last week, of course, was Jackie Robinson Day.
Yeah.
Throughout the major leagues. Because that's an easy day for me to remember because it's Jackie Robinson Day, it's my mom's birthday, and of course it's tax day. And so Jackie Robinson making his major league debut is one of the top news stories in the entire sports realm that's ever occurred.
Yeah.
And so I just thought we should mention that. And one of the things that I wanted to mention also is some of these ejections that have gone on in Major League Baseball, including Jazz Chisholm, who was suspended because he was, well, not just because he was arguing with the umpire. He got thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
But then he made a social media post.
Yeah.
Okay. Which he said, not even blanking close, which is the word that we will not speak on this family,
family-friendly show. Yes.
Yeah. This, and so he's suspended for 1 game.
Yeah.
He deleted the post, but as we all know, social media is a gun that's pointed right back at you.
Yeah.
And you could delete posts from now till doomsday, but they're out there.
Yep.
Okay. So he's on one of my fantasy teams as well. So that does not make me happy. Plus, he's not playing very especially well either. So that does not make me happy.
True.
So we have that. And let's see. How about Mr. Jorge Lopez? Okay. And he's suspended because he threw at not just 1, but 2 consecutive batters. Okay. And this is the guy, if you remember, who was thrown out of a game and threw his glove into the stands a year ago and was immediately sent out to the minor leagues. So this is a guy that, and both the batters that he threw at, and one of them he threw at the batter's head.
Yeah.
We can't have that.
No.
And both of those guys have hit home runs off of him in previous at bats.
Yeah.
So it wasn't some innocent thing that happened. This is a guy that's got some problems that need to be addressed. So, and I've heard nothing in any way, shape, or form of baseball or any of the management addressing these issues. So, he's got to be, you got to look into and make sure his mental health is okay.
Mm.
Not just because he can throw a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah.
Hit Take care of the player.
In the ribs, not the head. Not the head.
Right. Which he did to the batter previous to that. He hit him.
Yeah.
Put him on first, but that wasn't enough, so he went headhunting. So, that's. I just thought I would put that out there. And also, Mr. Uribe, is that how you pronounce it? Luis Uribe from the Padres. If you saw that play last night, where he collided at first base and they took him to the hospital.
Yeah.
He came back and was in the dugout by the
Yeah.
end of the game. So apparently he's okay. But that was one of the more scarier moments I think I've seen on a baseball field in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Baseball's got plenty of drama.
It
There's
does.
no doubt about that. All right. Let's get to the most dramatic moment of our evening, our waiver wire pickups in the segment we call our Fantasy Focus. Our Fantasy Focus is presented by SeatGeek. Go to SeatGeek.com. Use the promo code BellyUpSports. You get $20 off your purchase. So you're getting ready to go to a baseball game. Look it up on SeatGeek. Going to a concert, SeatGeek. Going somewhere else that you need a ticket, SeatGeek.com. And the promo code BellyUpSports. $20 off your purchase. All right, let's get into our drops first. I'll give you my three real quick. That's just all right. Riley Green, Detroit. He's not horrendous, but there's outfielders out there that are doing better. And there's some good things going on in Detroit. Riley Green right now isn't those good things. And so if you're in a dynasty league, maybe hang on to him. But overall, you're going to be able to replace him and his fantasy value at this point in the season. So I say move on. Tanner Bibby from Cleveland, the pitcher. Time to move on from him. Just go look at his stats. It's not even worth our time talking about it here. It's time to move on from him. And then the last one, I told you shortstop was going to be mentioned here, Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson is this incredible defensive baseball player who has always been, in every league I've been in, a waiver wire guy. It's been like throughout the season, he was on a roster, off a roster, on a roster, off a roster. And right now, he should be off a roster. Dansby Swanson is doing nothing to help your fantasy baseball team. I know you know his name. I know he's got beautiful hair. It doesn't matter. Cut him, move on. There are shortstops out there right now that are worth your investment. Dansby Swanson is not. So those are the three guys I say this week let's move on from.
Okay, so I'm going to put mine out there really quick as well. One of them we already mentioned, Charlie Morton, the 70-year-old. And we mentioned 6.65 ERA for Aaron Nola, but This is Charlie Morton's ERA. It's 10.89. He's 0-5 with a 2.23 whip. I won't say anything more. He's got to go. Okay. One of the players that I've dropped, and that's Ronel Blanco over there from the Houston Astros. He has a 6.48 ERA. Okay. And it's not looking good. 22 fantasy points. Hasn't pitched out of the fifth inning in any game so far this year. So that's bad. Okay. Unfortunately, Max Muncy, I know there are more than one Max Muncy playing in baseball, but I'm talking about the Dodgers, Max Muncy. Okay. He's at 31.2% rostered, and that for you get a 191 average, no homers, 4 RBIs, 4 runs. That's all you can put together in that Dodger lineup. You've got to go. All right. And the last one, I think I mentioned him before, and that's Lane Thomas of the Cleveland Guardians. He has been absolutely putrid. Okay. He's hitting 156, no homers, 2 RBIs, 2 runs, 1 stolen base, and he's missed 5 games this year. He has to go. There's nothing more you can say about that.
I 100% agree with all those choices, Kevin. Okay. Breaking news, bellyupsports.com is back. Live and up and running. So before I mentioned go to YouTube, you can still go to YouTube. Plenty of great stuff on YouTube, but we're back. bellyupsports.com. Make sure you check it out tonight before you go to bed. All right, let's get into additions this week, Kevin. That's why everybody tunes in. Who should we pick up this week? And why don't you start us off? Who do you have that we need to add?
Okay, so one of the players that I have is one of the ones that we've talked about before, and I believe you've talked about him. Said maybe he was a drop once before, but I'm talking about Rhys Hoskins of your Milwaukee Brewers.
I like it.
Okay. Over there at first base he's 9.3% rostered, 3 for 5 homer, 4 RBIs, 2 runs yesterday. Okay. And he has 3 2-hit games this year. Okay. He's doing it. He had some multiple hit games this very week alone. So you ride him while he's hot.
Right.
And next week, we could be talking about him as a drop, but he's hot at the present moment. And you've got to ride this guy. When they heat up, get it. Go get him on your roster. Wait till he goes 0 for 3 and then strikes out, 3 times, whatever, and then just send him on his way. But right now, he's an ad for me.
I like it. I was afraid you were going somewhere else, and that's where I'm going next. A guy that we've brought up about dropping already this season. Wow, I'm back on the wagon. Dylan Cruz, Washington outfielder. Listen, he had a rough go of things to start off the season. In the last week, he's batting his on base percentage is 321. He's got 2 home runs, 3 stolen bases in 27 at bats. It's starting to come around for Dylan Cruz. We told you it would. Keep an eye on him. He's owned in 21% of leagues right now. He's figuring it out. I like it. Let's go back to Dylan Cruz. You need outfield help. You can get rid of Riley Green. Pick up Dylan Cruz. He's ready to come back on your roster. I like what he's doing right now in Washington.
Okay, because I've had him and dropped him. So since I dropped him, he'll probably go 3 for 5 in his next game. So you definitely want him.
All right, who else you got?
All right, so I'm going to go with TJ Friedl.
Yep.
Out of the Cincinnati Reds. Okay, I don't know if I'm sure you happen to notice that they put 24 runs on the Baltimore Orioles the other day. We could have mentioned that in our previous section, but this is what he's done. Okay, he was 4 for 4 on Saturday. Yeah, it was 2 for 4 on Wednesday, 2 for 4 on Thursday. Hits in 8 of his last 9 games. He's scoring runs. He has 3 stolen bases. So this guy, if you need outfield help, goes right to the top of the list, and he's currently at 11.2% rostered. So he's somebody that's available. If you need outfield help right now, he's who I would turn to first.
So I'm going to stay in Cincinnati, and I'm going to go with someone I would turn to first over TJ Friedl, and that's Austin Hayes. And Austin Hayes, now listen, all the Red stats are going to be a little skewed this week because of that 24-run game.
That's right.
But understand this, in the last week, Austin Hayes is on pace at 4.67 right now. 7 runs, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, and 28 at-bats. What he's doing right now in Cincinnati is honestly quite incredible. And so I like what he's doing. He's slashing the ball really, really good. And overall, I think he needs to be on your team. His average for the season is 4.06. You don't get that very often.
No.
And again, there's a little bit of
sure
skew in there, but not enough to worry about. So yes, his average 4.06 on the season. But shoot, sign me up, right? Austin Hayes, Cincinnati outfielder, playing some really good baseball right now.
Okay, so the guy that I have is not hitting quite that high, but he is hitting 382 on the season.
Nice.
Okay, and that's Pavin Smith of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Okay, and he plays first outfield, and he's a DH at 13.2% rostered. As I mentioned, 387, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, 11 runs. He had 3 straight 2-hit games this week. So he's doing it. He has hits in 6 to 7 games, and he has 5 2+ hit games so far this year. And so Arizona, as we mentioned, has a high octane offense, and so at somebody that's in that offense that's at 13% roster, you want to get a hold of them and get them on your roster.
I like it. I've got 2 more for you. I got Tyler Fitzgerald and San Francisco, second base, shortstop eligible. What he's doing this year, 302 batting average, 5 stolen bases, only 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. He has 11 runs as well. This is a guy a lot of people remember because he had some really good moments last year. But really coming into this year, his value was pretty much depleted, it seemed like, by a lot of people. Willie Adames comes in and takes over the shortstop role, and Fitzgerald his value just plummeted. But he's playing some really good baseball. He gives you some multiple position eligibility as well. I love what Tyler Fitzgerald's doing right now. He's playing consistently as well. A lot of baseball being played by him. And San Francisco's playing good baseball too. So I think now's a good time to add Tyler Fitzgerald.
Okay, I like that. So I'm going to go with, you may find this hard to believe, but I'm going to go with Athletics starting pitcher.
Okay.
Okay, and that's J.P. Sears.
Sure.
Okay. And so he's at 7% rostered, and he has a 2-2 record, 3.13 ERA, 1.0609, WHIP. He's gone sometimes 6 innings and 3 or 4 starts. Okay, and then on Wednesday he goes up against the Texas Rangers. Now, usually I would say at home, they're in Texas, here. And normally I would stay away from that, but they scored 4 runs in a 3-game series that just got over here. And so they're not hitting. Simeon's not hitting.
Right.
But the only one that's hitting is Josh Smith, who had 3 hits against the Dodgers on Sunday. But the rest of the team is gone the way of the dinosaur.
Yeah.
So he's a guy that I would seriously look at picking up and getting a start, because Wednesday he's probably got it's not a 2-start week for him, but you can get 1 start of him on Wednesday and set yourself up and still have time. Let's say that he didn't pitch well. You still got 4 days after that to be able to recover from it. So J.P. Sears is a guy that I really like is someone that you can pick up off the waiver wire, get him a start, drop him, and it should work out well.
I like it. All right, the last guy I got, he's batting .000 on the year with 0 home runs, 0 RBIs, and 0 stolen bases. But that's because he's yet to play a Major League Baseball game until this week. Nick Kurtz, another Athletic. First base, we mentioned him earlier in the show. Listen, this kid has power. He's 22 years old, but what he has is power. He's hitting in a minor league baseball park when he's playing his home games this year. He's going to come in, and they said he is playing. So he's either DH or first base every single game, along with Soderstrom. They're going back and forth. They're both hitting every game. There's one of them will be in the field. One of them will be the DH. I'm in on Nick Kurtz. He's why I've been offering these trades, to make room to make sure I can have, because I can't have Jackson Holiday doing nothing, and then a prospect that I've never seen in the Major League Baseball yet sitting there too. So I made those moves, created space for Nick Kurtz. Pick him up. Why not? You have a spot on your roster that you can make available. Drop a pitcher that's a streamer. Figure something out, because if this guy does what I think he can do, he's going to be worth your roster spot. So grab him now. His first game, it looks like it's going to be Wednesday. Originally looked like it was going to be tomorrow. Now it's looking like it's going to be Wednesday will be his first game in. People are jumping on him, but he's still in ESPN leagues, 17% rostered. So go get him. Find him. He's first base eligible in ESPN leagues.
That's great. As after they finish playing the Rangers, they should be heading back home, I believe. And so you want hitters up there when they're in Sacramento.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So check that out. Whoever's available hitting, if they're in Sacramento, you want
them. Right. For sure. All right. That's it. That's it for our ads. Unless you have someone else that you want to.
Just one guy real quick. Might be finding this hard to believe, but he's a Cincinnati relief pitcher.
Okay.
That's Hunter Gaddis. Okay. At 7.7% rostered. He has an 0.00 ERA, 1.04 whip, 0 base on balls, 13 strikeouts, and 6 holds on the season. We mentioned holds earlier. You should be in a league that has holds. If you do, Hunter Gaddis is a guy that you're going to want to have on your fantasy team, especially if you're in a league that's got relief pitcher slots like our other league that we have.
Yep.
And so you got to fill those somewhere. And those guys are infinitely interchangeable. So go get them.
I want to go back and talk about real quick. We've both brought up athletics to add to our roster. You talked about the pitcher. I talked about a hitter. You talked about Soderstrom earlier on the rise, all that good stuff. They're at home starting tomorrow against the Rangers.
They're at home against the Rangers. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, so
then
they're not playing them
here.
They're playing them in Sacramento. Okay.
Yes. Then they got a 3-game home stand against the White Sox.
Oh,
so you want that
it gets right there.
And then they've got a 3-game road trip to Texas. So they got a bookend with the Rangers, but they're at home to start off for the next 6 games. And so Athletics and Rangers, for the record as well, playing in Sacramento for these next 3 days. Good things to add to your roster. Always look at your matchups. You got people hitting in Colorado. We talk about all the time, hitting against the White Sox, hitting against the A's, hitting against the Angels, even though the Angels have had some good days. So have the Athletics actually too. I pitched 2 different, maybe just 1 different Athletic pitcher this past week and had a good outing for it. So, they're there. You just got to find the right matchups for them.
That's right.
All right, Kevin. I know we got NFL draft stuff this week. The website is back. We are live on bellyupsports.com. So, can we expect an article coming out this week on bellyupsports.com?
That is a distinct possibility that I've been itching, to get my fingers rolling. And so I'll have to come up with something that I'll do. It's going to be a fairly busy week for me. Apart from that, because on Wednesday, I believe we're going to have a Seahawks session, and we're going to talk about what the Seahawks should do in the draft. And so you can look at that on the Belly Up Belly Up YouTube page. On Wednesday, we should be doing that. Thursday, I will be on the Belly Up coverage of the draft, and I will be live when the Seahawks make their supposed pick at number 18. We'll see about that. I suspect there might be a trade that might be going on with that, so we'll see. But so NFL will be reigning supreme around the Belly Up, the family of shows and everything else, and I'll be a part of both of that 2 times this week. So you will definitely want to see me over there, and also on X, Kevin62 WILSEA, and so be on the lookout because there are clips that I'd be doing from this show right here that I'd be putting out there, and that's been getting some great responses. I appreciate everybody that's, for the most part, that have responded to what I put out there. And so this should be a busy week for me.
This is an incredibly busy week. So tonight, Monday night, Belly Up Fantasy Live Baseball Show. Tomorrow, Tuesday night, myself and my dad will be live at 8 o'clock Eastern time, the Sports Stove Football Show. You can catch that on the Sports Stove Facebook page. And we're talking draft. My 4.0 went out today on social media. And now I need to work hard to get it up, hopefully tomorrow morning, up on the website as well. And so we're going to discuss that tomorrow night. That's 8 o'clock Eastern time. Then Thursday, you can catch the Sports Stove all kinds of places. Thursday afternoon, if you live in Central Kentucky, I'll be joining the Bottom Line on ESPN Radio Lexington to talk the NFL draft. So tune into that. And then in the evening, I will be on the Belly Up Sports NFL Draft Show, and I'll be on all throughout the evening. I won't be on every pick, but I'll be on a lot of times popping in, discussing things going on, what's ahead, all those good things as well. My NFL Draft big board is out on my social media stuff. If you go to @SportsStove, I got my top 50 that is out there. And again, the mock draft went out today on social media, so you can check that out also. Then Friday morning, my goodness, we're still going. Friday morning, there will be a special edition of the Sports Stove Football Show that will be pre-recorded. It'll be recorded after the first round. It'll be a quick recap of the first round and a quick preview of the second round, what to expect in the first several picks of the second round. That will be recorded after the first round is done Thursday night and posted and ready for you when you wake up Friday morning on the Sports Stove Football Show podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and also on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. It'll be available for you Friday morning there also. So this week is busy. We got a lot of stuff going on. We love baseball, but the NFL draft, we will definitely take some time to focus in on that this week as well. And I will say this. I am a NFL draft snob. I demand good coverage of the NFL draft. I do not watch nonsense.
Nonsense.
And,
we don't
I
want
will
nonsense.
say this. I'm comfortable and confident and saying tune into the Belly Up Sports NFL Draft Show on Thursday night. It's on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. DJ and Kelsey do a great job. They host, and they're from High Low Sports, and they do a great job of hosting. We get several different contributors from Belly Up Sports come on the program and talk about teams and things that they know. It's again, I'm a snob when it comes to the draft. You can watch ESPN if you want to. You can watch NFL Network if you want to, and they'll put out good products. But what Belly Up does for the draft night is really special. It's good stuff, and it's not nonsense. If you like nonsense, go watch Pat McAfee. But it's a good program. A lot of work's put into it. So please come check it out. Kevin will be there. I'll be there, and many other from the Belly Up Sports.
If you want to, please avoid Pat McAfee. Okay?
let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Please avoid that. Okay. If you want to watch somebody that's getting it wrong, then okay. But if you want solid coverage, then come over here.
There you go. All right. Well, like I said, the website's back. It looks great too, by the way. I took a quick peek at it. BellyUpSports.com, Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. Righteous Felon Jerky. Go check it out. RighteousFelon.com, promo code Belly Up, and then SeatGeek.com for your tickets. And that promo code is Belly Up Sports. We'll be back next week with more fantasy baseball coverage, and I hope that you'll tune in for that as well. He's Kevin Wilson. You can find him on social media at Kevin62, WILSEA. I'm Vince Stover. You can find me at Sports Stove on Twitter and on Instagram as well. We know you're going to enjoy the NFL draft, but don't forget there's a lot of good baseball going on this week too. Thanks for tuning in. Right. We'll see you next week.
That's right.